Good morning, mamas. I am so excited to introduce you to my friend Ellie. Ellie lives in Australia, which is the morning for her. It's afternoon for me, but it's the morning for her. I love how we can travel the world just by doing Zoom meetings. That's just awesome. Please watch the video. We're going to discover more about that awesome mama who is very spiritual and has a lot of great tips to share. Stay tuned. You're going to love it. And we are live. Good morning, Ellie. Do we pronounce Ellie or Eli? What do you prefer?
Oh, Ellie. Well, my full
Ellie?
name's Eleanor. So, but when you move to Australia, everything gets shortened.
So where you're from?
Originally, I'm from Northern Ireland, and I moved to Australia. It'll be 10 years this Christmas.
Wow. You know, I can relate because I moved to California about 10 years ago this Christmas.
Wow. Oh, so we were like moving at the same time.
Absolutely. So tell me more. What mom are you? How many kids do you have? What is your business? I want to know everything.
Everything. Okay, cool. So I am a mum of one, which is enough. Little Archie, he's 2.5.
A little boy.
And yeah, massive handful. I just had a friend up visiting and she was like, even if he lived in Sydney, I don't think I would mind him very often. He's just like, he's a million miles an hour. My business is called Headway Training. And I started that version of my business about 1.5 years ago, more kind of in line with what I'm here to do. And then about 8-9 months ago, I started a community called The Big Switch, which is about helping women really connect into that inner space of leadership, authenticity, and really aligning who they are with what they do. Because my journey has been a massive one of really getting to know myself and knowing what I'm capable of, trusting in myself, finding confidence again, particularly since having Archie. I don't know if you've experienced this, but when I, taking time off and having the baby and, just being in that fully consumed mummy mode, then when you come out to try and be, business mummy, it's like, ooh, okay, how do I do this again? And, you have all the hormones and everything's just like throwing you around the place. And I just really, it took me a long time to kind of climb out of that haze. But in that climb, I found my true business and my passion and what I'm meant to be doing in this life.
That's awesome. Did you have a total other business before your baby?
Not really. It was still coaching, consulting, and training, but it was very, I'll do this. Oh, and maybe this is my ideal customer. And and so I was constantly, anytime I got even a little bit of resistance, I was like, oh, I'll change it. Which obviously meant that I wasn't having any consistency, any financial wins. I wasn't getting the marketing message and stuff right. It was really hard because I was so confused in who I was trying to talk to and who I was trying to help. I've made my life very hard for myself. Let's just put
Absolutely.
It that way.
And then you start to doubt your abilities and your value, which is the worst thing that can happen. And but I think it's very common to many women, and I think it's also very common to every first-time mom, or at least first-time mom. When you become a mom, you get clarity like right away. Either you want to return to your job or you want to create something, and you're so clear because you have no more time. You have no more time. You have to take care of the baby, so you have to be crystal clear from day one and stop wishy-washy goals and think that doesn't make any consistency. And it happened to me exactly the same way. I've always been online. I've always been consulting, freelancing, doing social media, online marketing. But as soon as I got my baby, I got super crystal clear. I was tired of just, doing just like you doing that and then that, and then someone is telling me that, so I'm changing the whole thing and I'm rethinking the business, and it was just like time consuming and so confusing for people as well. No one knows.
Yeah, what are you doing now? I used to get asked, like,
Absolutely.
now I was like, oh.
Do you have a nanny now so you can focus on your work?
So what has actually ended up happening, so since Corona, so Archie's always been in daycare 2 days a week. So I was only getting 2 days to focus on my business, which is, you're funny saying about the time thing. I had 5 whole days to work on my business before he came. And like, I got nothing done in comparison to what I get done in those 2 days. But since Corona, my partner he's had some ongoing health stuff. And his company that he worked for was events. So obviously, when coronavirus came, that then threw his business into a bit of a spin. And because he was having to, the health stuff that he was going through, it was kind of like, do you continue to go through the stress, or do you take some time out and actually focus on getting yourself better? Absolutely. So he took redundancy from his company, and now he's daddy daycare for 3 days a week. And then so I'm 5 whole days a week at the moment. So I'm like,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So we're kind of negotiating that, that new paradigm that exists within our relationship, because I'm obviously, I was the primary one. And now he's getting to know Archie on this completely different level, but we seem to be getting on with it pretty well, which is good.
How do you feel about that? You not being the primary support?
Yeah, I'm okay, because he's still like, mommy. So I still feel like needed and wanted. And the days that he's here, like he runs in like all the time to come and see me and talk to me and, stuff like that. But definitely at the beginning, it was kind of like, my partner was like, oh, how am I going to do this? I'm used to being like working and manly and, having all these high level business conversations. And now I'm talking to a 2-year-old all day. And I'm like, well, yeah, like, I don't know how I'm going to do this, because now I'm, stepping up to take on the financial responsibility of our family. And, I don't get to see my son for the amount of time that I did before. So there was definitely a little bit of, I guess, grieving, uncertainty, a little bit of jealousy, because it's like, oh, I want to, that kind of push and pull of, I really, I want this to be successful, and I'm so committed to make this grow. But then I'm like, oh, I need you to grow too. And like, you're really important to me. And it's like, how do you find that balance of still, having my 2 babies and helping them grow in their individual ways?
But I think you're getting there. I feel very confident about that. I don't know, your energy or something. I feel like you're very in peace with your decision and how you're going to make it work. And by the way, I think that you becoming the number 1 financial support of the family must be so rewarding.
Yeah, it's definitely, because one of the things that kicked me on my kind of journey was when I got into the point where like I'd just come back to work, and I just had this realization that I was really pissed off with money. Like I was pissed off that I didn't have any, like that I had to ask for it and make my case for it. And I didn't like spending Andy's money, because I've been so independent for such a long time, that realizing that I had no control over that at that point was just like, I was so angry at myself and like all that stuff that I created, and it was fully my fault. Like I give all that away far too easily. And so that kind of journey of trying to claim that all back has now got me to this point where I'm like full, full responsibility. But yeah, it's definitely the kick up the ass.
I love it. I can totally relate, because when we came to Los Angeles 10 years ago, I couldn't work in the States because of the visa that I was. And I was married to a business visa. And at that time, Now, of course, it has changed, but at that time, the wife could just support her husband, but not work. So, but it was a blessing in a way, because I kind of discover myself as an independent entrepreneur, whether I wasn't before. I was working in a big corporation in France. And so I didn't have any choice to become someone that I didn't know I could be. Exactly. So it was a good thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally. When we get that whole, like that whole support system that we've what we think is a support system, when we get it kind of taken out from under us, it's at that time where we can kind of, break out and break free, or break down and go in.
Yes.
Like I do, before, when those moments used to happen, I used to be like, oh no, what's going on? And blah, blah, blah. Whereas now I kind of see them as the blessings that they are, because they're helping me to really shift my perspective on stuff, so that I don't have to be stuck in the same way of thinking or feeling about certain things, that I can just really let them go, let them open, and just change what they mean for me, more in line with whatever my intuitive stuff as well. Like, I think that's really important, because when we're not fully aligned with what we're meant to be doing and who we are, we have everyone else's voices and expectations trying to dictate what we need to do, rather than actually tuning into us and really understanding, like, what is it that I want to do? Not because society thinks I should do it, or my partner thinks I should do it, or what will my friends think if I don't do it? It's kind of like getting into that space of, well, actually, you know what? I don't really care what you guys think, because this is good for me and I'm making it from a positive perspective. So if it's good for me and it's a positive intention, it's probably going to be good for everyone else.
Absolutely. Do you have any specific productivity routines that you do every day to ensure that you do the thing that you have to do?
I guess, like, for me, I've got a little thing on my phone that comes up every day. I don't have my phone in here, but every day at 9:00, it flashes up and it goes, 10,000 women need to find you. Make it easy for them. And it's like,
love that.
It's good. And it's like, in the days where I'm like, oh, really can't be asked, or, oh, no one's responding, or, oh, what am I doing? It's like, that'll flash up and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's right. So I just haven't found the 10,000 that I, whatever percentage of that 10,000 yesterday, can I find them today? Absolutely. And so it just keeps me kind of connected to my mission, what I'm trying to do, so that when the hard stuff comes, I do it.
You wake up. Yes.
Yeah. I also put dates on things. I put dates on things and I tell people the date. Because if I don't put dates on things and tell people, then it doesn't happen either. It's like, absolutely. Oh, okay.
Yeah. it's making you accountable for something that you promised that you're going to do. I use that as well. Super powerful weapon, by the way.
Yeah, massive. Like, I find, when I was in those confusion days and, really when my confidence had been knocked so much, like, I'd be like, oh yes, I'll build this and I'll do this. And then, the date would come and go and I'd get to the end and I'll be like, oh, okay, I'll just do it another time. Oh, here he comes.
A little boy. Hello. Oh my God, it's so cute. A blondie. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. See you later. Go find Daddy. Oh. Do you want to say hello?
Hello. Hello.
We just had eggs. Archie.
I know. Hello, Archie.
Say bye-bye. Daddy. Bye. I knew that was going to happen.
I mean, it's completely chill. We are all okay with anything. We are all moms, so there is no problem. Can you tell me who is your dream client?
So my dream client is women who have been either in business or they're just starting out in business, but they know that they're not living up to their full potential. So they're only able to get their business to a certain level, not creating consistency, and they know that they're just holding themselves back. So it's how they believe and think about themselves and their business that's actually stopping them from, living their mission. They're kind of, the people who I work with are between 35 and 55, which is really interesting, because a lot of women who are popping out of their children, their children don't necessarily need them as much. They're going through this
transition.
Yes, transition, recalibration of not being so consumed by their family that they want to actually create a business for them, rather than I just need to get a business because it's flexible, I can work around my children and I can still make some money. But the people that I work with are the ones who are like, you know what, that's not enough anymore. I want to make my business the best possible business that's really aligned with who I am and what I want to do. And I want to make some serious money.
That's great. And I had one more question. I mean, a lot of more questions, but I just lost my line, I think.
That's okay.
Come back.
My mom always says, oh, it must have been a lie. When you go, I can't remember.
Yes, right. Do you just coach or do you have a program, anything?
Yeah. So actually I've got my my signature program, Soul Ignition, is starting on the 21st of July. And that's an 8-week group coaching program where we at the end the participants are like, Els, it's like you went into my soul and lit me up. And I'm like, it's called Soul Ignition. But it's about helping women really get into, clear away all those old patterns, behaviors, thoughts, beliefs in who they think they are, and rewrite themselves and tapping into what is their soul journey. What is their divine blueprint inside of what they're actually meant to do, and then it helps them to create then a business from this more aligned space. So actually one of the participants who finished, she was like, she was getting really teary, and she was telling me about how she actually wants to inhabit her own name now, whereas before it always needed to be something else because people wouldn't necessarily want to buy straight from her. So it's a beautiful, really gentle, supportive journey, because I feel like there's too many things that are just mindset or just business and sometimes we need a bit of all of it, where we can just gently chip away at those maybe harder bits that aren't helping us achieve what we need to achieve, and then just really flow into your business, because I don't think business should be hard. But when you're aligned, when you're really connected to your confidence, when you get rid of feelings like shame and guilt and all that kind of stuff, you can just fly. So
I
that's
absolutely
Soul
agree,
Ignition
100%. Yes.
Because it used to be hard, but it's not hard anymore.
Yeah, right. It's the same. I can totally relate, and I love your mission and what you try and what you put out there for the woman. I think that's very smart and important.
Thank you.
You'll find, and I'm sure you'll already find success, but I can see the potential of what you're doing. So I really like that.
Yeah. Me too.
Do you use to develop your business, you use only online marketing, or do you have any other secrets that you want to share?
Do I have any other secrets? No. So I there's quite a lot of women that I know who are currently buying from me because they've met me at events and things like that, or I've spoken at events or trained them in other things. So actually getting in front of people and making sure that they can like, know, and trust you is really important. I think one of the things that I'm noticing more is that it takes a lot more in the online space to actually really get into understanding, you know, those people, what they want, and making sure that they know that you're the right person for them. So there's definitely a lot more work in that serving up front to make sure that people are like, yeah, you know, you're the one, you can help me.
Absolutely. I do think there is abundance of dream client for anyone on earth. It's just a matter of being true to yourself, as you said, and just flying your business, because there is no reason that it must be hard. So yes.
Yeah. Oh, what I also do is I have this daily visualization that I do just before I go to sleep. And I'm happy to share that with you guys if you want me to.
That's awesome. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So you can do it with me if you want. And everyone who's watching on the live can do it with too. So I just close my eyes and just start taking some deep breaths. I really connect down into that belly space. And if my breathing's really fast, then I'll just slow it down. And then I just imagine the space between my eyes, the eyebrow space, and just a little bit of energy starting to spin round and round and round and round, getting faster and faster and a little bit bigger and bigger. And then I start to notice that my heart, again, there's an energy, but it's different. And that starts to spin and spin and spin and get a little bit bigger and bigger and bigger. And all the while, the space between my eyes is still spinning and gaining energy. And then as I move down through my body and watch my breath, the space adjusted between my navel and my rib cage, there is an energy in there, and that starts to spin. And that's a bit different again too. And it's spinning, but not as fast as the top one, not as fast as the heart one, but just finding its own rhythm. And just letting those energies, then they want to connect and come together. And as they connect, they weave together into a thread of light. And gently break through from you, start to spread out to your time, to your state. And as it does and grows and finds and weaves and moves, it starts to connect to those people who need you. And each person that it connects to, it finds the next one and the next one and the next one. And you don't have to know their faces. You just touch their energy. And straight out over your state, your country, till eventually it's reaching all around the world. And just let that energy from you flow to them. And as you bring it back, bring those people with you. Bring that energy in, still connected to those people, back through the world, back through your country, back through your state, back through your time, and back into your mind, your heart, and your intuition. And just know that those people are coming back to you and you're finding them very easily. And when you're ready, just open your eyes.
I really like it.
Yeah.
It's very powerful. The visualization, what the image that you gave, very powerful. Absolutely.
Yep. So, because what I use NLP, so neuro-linguistic programming, as my modality that I do a lot of the transformations with. And it's about understanding the constructs of the mind. So the little metaphors, the stories, the things that we create. If we understand those, we can change the ones that don't work and we can like enhance the ones that do. And so, you know, I believe massively in spirituality and that we're all connected, and that, you know, we will find the people who are our jam, but just consciously taking that time to put your energy out there and connect those people and actually bringing them back and know that you're bringing customers to you, lets your unconscious mind know that, you know, those clients are going to come, but you have to go out and find them first.
Yeah. And you know, it's funny because I use a lot of social media and online marketing to develop my business. And I always like, when I go through Facebook every morning and look at the comment, I'm always like checking with myself, do I feel I need to reply to that comment? Do I feel I want to engage? And I would say almost 10 times out of 10, it's working. I get like some feedback when I follow my intuition and my gut.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I think, you know, because we've been sort of, you know, when we go to school and when we, you know, we get to that point, we get forced out of our bodies. You know, as small children, we're just totally in our body the whole time. But then when we go to school, it's like, sit down, be still. And then you're just in here. So, you know, and then, you know, you're told you're bad if you don't sit down, if you move around, if you use your body. And so I feel like we've kind of lost that connection a little bit of being this whole fully aligned, connected being. You know, I totally was there. It felt like someone had, like, you know, put a wooden block here and I couldn't really connect with my body and my feelings for a long time. So
are you going to school then? Have you thought about it?
I've thought about it, but I think he's really social and he loves people, so it's kind of that. I think finding the right modality that is being taught is going to be the thing for him. Yeah, he's a real high touch. Like, his love language 100% is touch. You know, he'll be sitting in the couch and his dad will sit on one side and I'll sit on the other side, and his his legs are like to touch.
It's so cute. Mine is so young, and it is almost like a corona baby, because it was 6 months, 8 months when coronavirus started, so didn't get to socialize with the cousin this Christmas, but after that no stranger at all, like once, that was it. Then we were on lockdown. So
crazy.
Wow. I'm excited for him to explore that world though, because I think he's gonna love it.
Yeah. I wouldn't worry too much, because they don't really like acknowledge each other until they're about 18 months, 2 years. Like, they will only ever play beside each other. So they don't actually need that interaction, and they don't learn to share until they're 4. So
okay, well, I wasn't worried, but now I'm even more reassured in the fact that he hasn't seen a lot of babies.
No, he'll be fine.
How can the group and how can I support you?
Like, I think just keep sharing. I think, you know, more that the more that women actually come out and support each other, I think the, you know, the kind of underlying thing for my mission is, like, I feel like women have been pushed down and oppressed for too long and been pushed into these roles, and I think we need to be able to break free from that and be able to support each other in that, without that overbearing masculine energy that's either coming from women or coming from men. And I think when we do that, and when we start standing up for ourselves, and when we start going for the things that we want, and demonstrating to those around us, to our partners, that these are my boundaries, this is what I expect you to respect from me, it will change the world. You know, because I feel like we're all sitting with all these outdated expectations and just like yuckiness, really.
Mm-hmm.
And if, each one of us is like, yes, like that's amazing, or, that kind of sounds awesome, I'm going to do it. Or, and also being respectful. Like if you don't want to do something, then just say no, don't feel like you have to.
Mm-hmm. I feel I think we have a lot of pressure as well about living a life of performance. And that's come from, all the motivational speaker, which I love, by the way, but sometimes when it's too much, it's too much. And sometimes you just need to preserve yourself and, take a step back from that, because life is not just about performance and,
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
Like, this is what's on my desk right now. But also, what's also on my desk is, I don't know, can you see this?
Yeah.
Transforming yourself. So it's about the balance, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, I was kind of doing a lot of retrospection and a lot of analysis from the book that I've read until now, and everything that I've been, taking from the motivational speaker, from the high performance books and everything. And that's how I work with my clients. I mean, everyone is very different and everyone needs to find its own balance. If your balance include watching 1 hour of TV every day, well, do it. Maybe it's improving your relationship with your husband because you're together. So it's really like finding something that works for you and know it's just about work and making money. And that's
and don't feel bad about it, and don't make anyone else feel bad about the things that make them happy.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what? If I want to sit on the couch and watch TV for 20 minutes because I can switch off, then that's brilliant. But also, if I want to go hike a mountain,
Yes,
I will.
totally agree. It was lovely to have you here. I'm going to stop the live and I will keep talking with you a few minutes. I hope you loved this video as much as I did. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe to the channel. Share it as well with your friend who you think would benefit from it. I wish you a fabulous day and I will see you on the next video.